Asheville looked incredible in October. It's also when most people overpay for the exact same trip. You've seen the fall photos, the crowds, and thought, yeah, I can't afford that. And you're not wrong. That's exactly when most people get the trip wrong. Because the best version of Asheville isn't peak season. It's the off season, quieter, easier, and cheaper. Same place, better experience. Let's break down when that happens and how to avoid overpaying. While October in Asheville is stunning, it's also the busiest month and most expensive month by a mile. Demand to see the fall foliage sends hotel rates soaring, sometimes doubling compared to quieter times. Trying to book a last-minute trip is basically impossible, and when you do, you'll be sharing those serene mountain views with thousands of your closest friends. Summer is also a similar story. From June to August, the city is flooded with tourists, escaping the southern heat. This means crowded trails, full breweries, and peak pricing on just about everything. It's a fun time for sure, but it's not where you'll find the best value. And this is where the trip flips. The most budget-friendly time to visit Asheville is from January through March. These are the slowest months for tourism, which is exactly why it works in your favor. This is when you'll find lower hotel rates, easier bookings, and fewer people competing for the same experience. And that changes everything, because you're not just saving money, you're making the day easier. You're not circling for parking. You're not wasting a long time looking for food, and you're not paying peak prices just to be there. The trails are quieter, the overlooks aren't as packed, and places that normally feel crowded, you can actually enjoy. That's the difference. And when something like Looking Glass Falls freezes over in the winter, it becomes something most visitors never get to see. This is also when the indoor side of Asheville actually becomes part of the experience, not just a fallback. You get into restaurants without planning your entire day around it. You can take your time walking through the Grove Arcade without it feeling rushed. And breweries, they are not as packed as they usually are. You're doing the same things, but it feels completely different. And that's why winter isn't just cheaper, it's often the better version of the trip. If a winter trip isn't in the cards for you, aim just outside the peak season. May and September are the golden months in Asheville, offering a perfect sweet spot. The weather is fantastic with temperatures often in the 60s and the 70s. It's ideal for hiking, strolling downtown, or any other outdoor activities you like to do. In May, the mountains absolutely burst into bloom with wildflowers and rhododendrons. The Biltmore State Gardens are an explosion of color with thousands of flowers. It's also when the city hosts Asheville's Beer Week, a huge celebration of its legendary craft brew scene. While May can sometimes see a spike in flight prices, the overall cost of your trip is still much lower than in peak season of summer or fall. September gives you that perfect late summer warmth without the crowds. The intense heat and humidity have faded, making the perfect time to hike, bike, or just enjoy a beer on a patio. You get all the benefits of amazing weather while avoiding those peak fall prices that start creeping in as October approaches. So how do you actually put this into practice? First, embrace the free stuff. Driving the Blue Ridge Mountain costs you nothing and delivers million-dollar views any time of the year. The hundreds of miles of hiking trails in the surrounding Pisgah National Forest are completely free to access. And wandering through the dozens of artist studios in the River Arts District is a perfect way to spend an afternoon without spending a dime. Second, visit midweek. This is a total game changer, whether it's winter or any other season. Visiting between Monday and Thursday will almost always get you cheaper rates on accommodations. Plus, restaurants and trails will be even less crowded, which is always a win. Real quick, if this guide is helping you plan a smarter Asheville trip, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It helps me keep creating guides that let you travel better for less. Here's the part that most people don't realize. When you travel during peak season, everything costs a little more. And you feel it all day too. Parking takes longer. Food takes longer. You're more likely just to grab something because it's easier than waiting. And that's where the money goes. Not in one big cost, but in small decisions that add up. Another stop, another meal, another place that seemed like a good idea in the moment. And by the end of the day, you spent more. But it doesn't feel like you got more out of it. That's the difference. Now, you don't need a massive budget to see the best of Asheville. In fact, by avoiding the peak season chaos, you'll probably have a more authentic and memorable trip. For the absolute biggest savings, embrace the cozy, quiet magic of January through March. For the perfect sweet spot of incredible weather and more manageable prices, plan your trip for May or September. If you're planning this trip, check the links in my description. I've included places to stay, things to do, and options nearby to make it easier for you to plan. Now, what is your favorite budget trip for Asheville? Have you visited during one of these secret seasons? Share your experience in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. If you're interested in taking a day trip from Asheville but uncertain what to do, I've included a link to one of my videos right here. This will help you make that plan. Now, I'll see you on the next adventure.